9 on Whispers 87.7 FM on a very lovely Tuesday morning. Welcome to the Civic Forum. My name is Uche Nogo. This is a platform where national issues, governance, and public concerns are brought into meaningful conversations. Across Nigeria today, insecurity remains one of the nation's biggest challenges, from kidnappings and bandit attacks to killings in communities. And there's the growing fear among citizens. Many Nigerians are asking different questions about public safety and national security. Despite ongoing military operations and government assurances, attacks continue in different parts of the country, leaving many communities displaced and citizens increasingly concerned about their safety. Today on the Civic Forum, we ask the question: insecurity in focus, can Nigeria still guarantee citizens' safety? Our guest today is Dr. Captain Luqman Gidado. He is a highly respected military veteran and accomplished leader in security strategy and development. He is the executive director of SAN Multi Concept Limited and also serves as director of strategy and operations at Initiatives for Social Inclusion and Grassroots Literacy. He is a professional member of the International Institute of Professional Security and is widely recognized for his contributions to security analysis, strategic communication, policy development, and grassroots empowerment. Captain, you're welcome.
Yeah, good morning. It's my pleasure to be with you today.
Nice to have you join us today. So, the first question to you: from your professional assessment, how serious is Nigeria's current security situation?
Okay, let me start by saying that the as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended,
Yeah.
Section 14, subsection 2B, that the primary purpose for the existence of government is to guarantee the security of life and property of all Nigerians. So, in line with that, if we are to assess the current strategies being put in place by the government to improve the security landscape of Nigeria, I would say that the government is trying its best in all ramifications. However, there are gaps that needs further re-improvement. So what am I saying? The question does not seem as if there's a complete collapse in Nigeria as a country, but there are areas whereby if everything is put in place towards strengthening those areas, I think there will be a considerable improvement within the security framework of Nigeria as a country.
Did you say that the government is trying? Because I'm sure that many Nigerians wouldn't agree with you on that comment made.
Okay, most of the people that will not agree with me, I can say for fact, they don't understand the complexity of security issues. There is nowhere in the world whereby there will be absolute security, because threats keep evolving. As threats keep evolving, that means there's need for continuous improvement, continuous assessment. I'm not saying the government is 100%. The government is not perfect. The security institutions are not perfect.
Yeah.
And crime is not an exclusive preserve of only Nigeria as a country. In the United States, that people tend to want to emulate in terms of, to copy their model. There are a lot of crime and that's being perpetrated in the United States. We've witnessed situations whereby there will be extrajudicial killing. Nobody expects that. We've witnessed a situation whereby an individual will just go to a gathering where people are more or less like maybe just enjoying themselves. Somebody will start shooting sporadically. So crime is a global phenomenon. And like I said, I am not saying that the government is 100% perfect, but there are efforts that have been put in place that to show that the government is actually serious in its efforts towards improving the security landscape of Nigeria. And I'm not saying that there are no gaps. There are obvious gaps that needs to be straightened for us to have an improved security landscape in the country.
So, Nigerian security agencies, are they facing challenges of coordination? You talked about gaps, intelligence, or manpower. What would that be?
One of the gaps I would like to say is that, first and foremost, from the angle of the security agencies, as against the backdrop of what we used to experience in the past, I think there's a level of high level improvement in terms of interagency coordination and collaboration. Right now, you see the personnel of the Nigerian police, the military, the DSS, the civil defense, all of them working assiduously together towards improving the security framework of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Because regardless of the institutions whereby you belong, you all have the same mandate, which is one, protection of life and property of all Nigerians, regardless of your agency. So there's improved interagency coordination and collaboration. And this gives credence to the current IGP, the current service chiefs, and of course the Minister of Defense. In many of the fora they've had opportunity to speak, you will hear them saying that no. Even the Director General of the DSS, there is synergy among the security agents. But it doesn't stop at the level of manpower alone. One of the gaps is this manpower that we are always shouting about. There's need to improve their welfare. The welfare of the security agents is very, very paramount. These are people that they are ready to pay the supreme sacrifice if the situation warrants. So for someone who has taken that bold step of joining either the military, the police, the DSS, or other security agencies, there's need for you to sustain their morale at every point in time.
But does government know that really? Because very recently there was this cry in the social media about someone who did a recording of what he said was what the military officers have as their meals. And the government seemed to be unhappy and they debunked that. You've been in the military, so would that really be the case? Do they really need help, or government is really trying? What would it be?
Okay. As somebody who has been privileged to serve in the military, as against the backdrop of the example you gave, that somebody said some things regarding the welfare of the Nigerian military and the person was apprehended. Your intention of saying some things they have a serious national security implication. It's a different thing if you are using it to chase clout. It's a different thing entirely if you are like wanting the personnel, you are encouraging what they call mutiny. Such things are not needed in Nigeria. If you actually have the interests of the country at heart and you want to call for improvement in the welfare of the security personnel, you suggest in a situation whereby you don't aggravate issues, you don't cross the line. What do I mean by crossing the line? There are utterances that have serious national security implication. Suggest to the government. Government is what I feel. Weeks ago, you see the Nigerian police officers, the retired ones, that are agitating that their pension is nothing to write home about. So when you see such situation, are you going to, as a responsible Nigerian, what is expected of you is to responsibly call on the government to improve the welfare of the Nigerian police force, not to, wanting to make everywhere volatile. The moment you are making everywhere volatile, do we have another country that you want to make everywhere volatile? Suggest responsibly, criticize in a constructive manner that will not, bring adverse effect within the national security landscape. So you can see the dichotomy between the modus operandi of the person you mentioned and my approach towards, responsibly suggesting to the government that no, the security agents, there's the imperative need for their welfare to be improved in its entirety. And not only that, I want to applaud the government for uh, investing considerably when it comes to technology. The Nigerian military, I can tell you for a fact that they've started investing heavily on drones,
Okay.
because drone capability will enhance the operational efficiency of the military. And you can see that weeks ago, the synergy between the United States and the Nigerian Armed Forces is yielding considerable results, especially around the Northeast area and Lake Chad region. A total of about 175 terrorists have been decimated and neutralized. So this shows that while not saying the government is perfect, but the government is not resting on its oars, collaborating and synergizing with all the necessary stakeholders towards decimating the adversaries, the bandits, the kidnappers, and improve the security of life and property of all Nigerians.
So, why are rural communities becoming increasingly vulnerable to attacks?
Okay, what this speaks volume of one of the gaps I made mention of earlier. I think our community engagement level is not too encouraging, in the sense that crime is local. Most of these criminal elements take advantage of the ungoverned spaces we have within the Nigeria security landscape. And there's limited security presence, limited government presence in most of the places where crimes are being perpetrated. And this tells you that there's need to engage more with the community, the traditional rulers and other stakeholders within the community. There's need for the government and security agents to improve their standard of living. Before now, before the current FCT minister was brought on board, most of the satellite town that road network have been channeled to them, whereby there is an improvement in the infrastructural deficit that they are having. This has a strong connection with security, because when the government, people are seeing the import and the dividends of democracy,
Yeah.
they tend to support the government more, as against a situation whereby there is no good road network, no good water supply, no electricity. The standard of living of the people is not being improved. So security cannot be won only by kinetic approach to warfare. These non-kinetic measures are very, very essential towards bringing about a sustainable environment that will deter all forms of criminality. So there's need for the government to do more. Areas whereby they are lacking the infrastructural facilities, good road networks, pipeline water, schools. When you go to communities and make sure all these are in place, you are indirectly fostering information and intelligence gathering. The community will not allow, or they will not want a situation whereby this dividend of democracy that the government have put in place for anybody to come and make them to stop enjoying it. So they will definitely improve their information and intelligence gathering with the security agents.
Okay.
So I feel there's need to actually engage more with the community, and also the religious leaders.
Okay.
I think they have a key role to play. Most of the crime being perpetrated are ideologically driven. Extremist ideology. What is not in the Bible, what is not in the Quran. There's need for the government to also engage with the traditional rulers in a more robust way, so that religious leaders will be out to teach people, both Christians and Muslims, the correct doctrines, the way it is in the scripture, and it will not be, distorted. When this is done, all forms of extremist ideology will be curbed. Security can be achieved in the classroom. It can be achieved within the local communities. What you are teaching your child, a child of 10, 15-year-old, whatever you are teaching them in terms of tolerance, in terms of fostering unity and diversity, you are sending a message to them towards curbing all forms of extremism which have a strong link with security. So you can see is a holistic approach towards actually having a sustainable security framework in Nigeria. Not only the kinetic approach whereby you deploy the police officers and the military officers to go and fight terrorists. It can be, when you trace the grassroots, the root causes of this insecurity are what I'm mentioning. Why not saying that the effort of the Nigerian police and the other security agents are not important, but you need to go down the bottom to go and trace the root causes, which are, religious extremism, lack of tolerance, encouraging Muslims to be fighting Christians, Christians to be fighting Muslims, all forms of, priests and imams and pastors that are found wanting in this regard. By the time they are arrested and prosecuted, we are indirectly improving the security landscape of Nigeria. So, what